my background is I came to New York when I was 15, came to Jackson Heights, right next to where all the other Bengalis are. I'm Bengali. And uh, grew up in Jackson Heights as an immigrant since 15. At 17, picked up enough English, watching a lot of movies, specifically Brian De Palma and Scorsese ones. So violent upbringing. And then at 17, I get a job as a busboy at Bear Burger, the one in Astoria, Queens, the first one. And I stayed there for a decade, worked every job, dropped out of pre-med and continued to work there for a decade, and eventually became CMO and opened 50 restaurants in 5 countries. So very much a restaurant operator, still learning not to be a restaurant operator, still learning to finally pick up food tech. So it has been a wild transition. But yeah, that's a little bit about my background and why I ended up at Lunchbox. Was I was just always sitting around at Bear Burger complaining about Grubhub every day, right? Like that's what we restaurateurs do. We complain about whatever's eating our margins. And we always complain about Grubhub. And one day I was like, why don't I do something to help? Why don't I just want to build what Sweetgreen has? Why can't I go and build what Sweetgreen has, but for everyone? And I love Sweetgreen. And so I looked at their system and I was like, all right, let's figure out how much this costs. And when I found out the cost, I'm like, I'm starting a company. We need to teach everyone how to do this, because just like NFTs matter today, the digital storefront will matter just as much for restaurants. Like you have the physical storefront, you have the digital storefront. Right now in the digital storefront, all you can do is order food. That is as little as you should be able to do with it. And so I'm excited to lean into it and teach everyone how to build their storefronts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that now I recall we have spoken about this before, where that you grew up in Jackson Heights, because I am a few stops away.
Where?
On the F, I'm in Forest Hills.
My parents are in Forest Hills.
I remember now that we did. I forgot. I was like almost a year ago, and I was like, oh, it's coming back to me now.
We both forgot about each other, so we're not going to be embarrassed. We're just going to shrug it off, move on. It's okay. You're busy. It's okay.
Yeah, and I know that obviously the big core of kind of where you guys launched from was helping out Bear Burger and everything.
Yeah.
And just as a customer in Bear Burger, it is really a pleasant experience ordering from them. And it's so much easier to figure out how to do it as opposed to doing Grubhub and getting hit with the fee for this and the fee for that, and then suddenly you have like $12 extra. And you're like, wait, that's a really expensive burger.
Yeah, absolutely. We still have the ostrich. When did you start trying our food? From the early days?
I remember the ostrich burger.
So you're
I
an
want to
OG.
say the first time I tried was like 2010.
Wow, so you're one of the original, like you're early,
Yeah.
early 2010, 2012, we stopped with the ostrich.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so something that we're asking all of our power listers this year is, what is your big idea for the restaurant industry? I mean, you kind of already have that locked and loaded, I'm sure, but so like, what's that unique thing that you're passionate about and working toward?
So a couple of the things couple of big ideas we're working on our end. We think, our position is this: Toast is everything in store. Lunchbox is everything outside the 4 walls, outside the front door. So that's the way we're positioning ourselves. So we want to go ahead and remove the fragmentation from the space, right? And a couple of big ideas we're challenging as we are looking to go ahead and expand is we're going to go ahead and lean very much into what is possible and what is not possible, right? So one of the things restaurateurs right now are doing is they're like, okay, all right, every time I need to add or innovate at all, I'm going to need a new integration partner. And what we're saying is use Lunchbox as the innovation hub, or even the operating system that you can continue to expand on top of, right? So we're building API that can let everyone enter our system. So what do I mean by that? Let me show you some visual. A couple of things we're innovating on our end. Can you see my screen? Mm-hmm. One of the things we're doing is we are right now working on accepting crypto payout in our system, right? A lot of restaurateurs have come to us and they said, hey, we would like to explore this. And we don't understand it. We don't want to be liable for it, but we want to explore. And one of the things we've said is, okay, let us go ahead and explore that and build that out for you so you can all see that. Right? One of the other things we've done is we are, Restaurant Week in New York, we are recreating Restaurant Week for the summer, but via NFT. So you can go to all these places and win NFT from these restaurants from Lunchbox and experience a Restaurant Week, but very differently, where you pay even more to these restaurants, because why should they give you a discount and earn NFTs to complete the experience, complete the crawl, right? More things we're doing is we've built out, this is our first virtual restaurant we've built out for the meta, and we're going to go ahead and put it out on OpenSea so they can go ahead and explore it. And we would like to go ahead and really push what your digital storefront means. It shouldn't just mean ordering food, getting 20% off, getting discount, getting codes. We think we can go beyond that. We think we can go beyond the brick and mortar. So this is our first restaurant that you can use on Oculus and walk around and see it. We are excited to look for a restaurant partner within our system right now who we're going to join together to go ahead and sell food from this, not just an app and web, entire place where you can actually hang out and you can actually talk to each other and actually dine together. So happy to give you a bigger demo on this system.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, and this is all built out. This is just a GIF of one angle. You can walk around, you can explore, there's kiosk, you can go on the kiosk, you can order on the kiosk. So really going beyond everything you can do. And we're going to go put it on OpenSea and sell an actual digital storefront. And I had to buy the Oculus because I didn't grow up with any of this because I'm an immigrant. So, all I did was work. So now I have to learn all of this and talk to my engineers who all make me feel super dumb. One of the things we're doing is we're also launching branding for our customers. So if any of our customers, we're really good at marketing and branding and design. So if any of our partners want to open, if Joanna wants to open her third, fourth, fifth brand, we can help her with that. We can help her with more locations. We can help her with the branding. We're going to, again, continue to let her speak to our guests as she's experimenting in the ghost world, right? So these are some of the things we are doing on our end that are our big initiative, mostly in crypto, NFT, and more so in expanding and staying close to what we're really good at, which is branding, design, and helping these restaurants churn out more brands. Because if you are launching 5-wing concept from one kitchen, that doesn't make you special. What makes you special is launching actual brands that matter, right? So why are we not putting the same capital, effort, and resources in launching virtual brands? Why are we just putting some chicken, breading it, and selling it? That doesn't seem enough to me. That seems like we're going backwards in time. We need to go forward. And so we're excited to be a part of that.
Mm-hmm. And so if you could have to say kind of the 30-second elevator pitch as to what you guys are doing to revolutionize the restaurant industry both over the past year and then moving forward.
Yeah. If the restaurant, there's, Joanna, are you aware of, Web 1, Web 2, Web 3?
No.
Okay. So Web 1 and 2, let's just stick with Web and 2, right? I learned it 2 weeks ago. So if I sound dumb, please forgive me. Web 1 is a static website. You go on the website and everything is placed there. Web 2 is the websites we go to today, Joanna. We go to a website and my ads are different from your ads, and your ads are different from Jessica's ads, right? Because the ads are catering to us and our different needs. Restaurant is still in Web 1. We're still in the dark ages of you can just order food and that's it. What we do, our 30-second elevator pitch, is we are going to be ready, be further along the road, and help you build your digital storefront. And it is not just going to be ordering food. It is expanding your ethos, your culture, your brand, and everything you have to say to your guests and why your guest loves you back. We're going to allow you to do that and continue to do that as we move to a digital world, an off-premise world. So that's a 30-second elevator pitch. Not sure if that made sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And I think from what we've talked about before, I think the big thing that you guys work on is helping restaurants become more independent and not as dependent on the third-party delivery, et cetera. So can you tell me a bit how you're doing that?
Yeah. So one of the things we're doing still, and we're doing really well is when restaurants come to us, they are doing around 18% direct ordering. The 6-month cohort is doing 19.6 million. It's doing 49% direct ordering. So a big transition takes 6 months to happen. Now you have half and half. half are not so profitable, but a marketplace that's sending you new customers constantly, and half a loyal base, more profitable, and your customer. That is equitable, that is fair, that's what we like, that's what we want. We have been successfully able to do it and save over 19 million in third-party fees. So the way we're doing that, which is your actual question, is we continue to figure out if you're vegan, if you stop coming in, we ping you with email, ping you with targeted push notification because we know you like happy hours. We're continuously trying to convert third-party sales to first-party via social ad and social system. So now we have a department internally who helps all our customers do that, right? So that's our core mission and always will be. The reason we're building all of these things, exploring crypto, NFT, and more branding resources is because we want you to have the resources that Domino's and Panera has. Makes no sense why you don't have them.
And so how are you helping restaurants, I guess, become what do you think, I guess, needs to change about off-premise to help those restaurants become more independent?
I think what needs to change is you cannot look at off-premise as something we had to do because of the pandemic. I think we need to prepare for, and I'll pull up another slide. I'm sorry, I'm a slide talker. I'm useless without my slides. So there's, this is the future landscape from our point of view. Let me share my screen. The way we see this is we're in this weird place where people still think off-premise is not going to be the primary way of doing delivery, right? Legacy era was where Aloha and Micros did really well, right? And it was mostly on-premise. And they still are majority POS in the country, by the way, as you know. And then we have the cloud era, which is Toast and Olo, preparing for 1/3 off-premise. We're preparing for a 2/3 off-premise. We're preparing for brands to take delivery very, very seriously and not just be like, we're doing it just for the pandemic, or we're doing it just to go ahead and have additional revenue line item. We are prepared to go ahead and we're working right now with a company we think will be the first Sweet Green, but will not own a single storefront, right? So that's who we're working with. We're working in the world where they might open some brick and mortar because it's nice to have. It's nice to have because Amazon opened a brick and mortar for fun, right? It's nice because that's secondary to the delivery business, the digital off-premise business. That's the world we're prepping for, where creator economy, or people like Mr. Beast and others, but actual good food will be designed that we've never tasted before, and we are going to go live with them, right? And then if they wanted to open some brick and mortar, they would. So really turning the current model on its head and preparing for very little hardware, very little POS, and very much data focus and performance management focus. So more Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and how we can help them with that world where if you don't have people passing by and walking by you, they can't see your A-frame.
And when do you think we'll get to that restaurant of the future where it's so very focused on kind of like the virtual and digital presence?
The first phase is spray and pray. Launch all the restaurants you can. Don't care about quality. Just open. Sign up a bunch of celebrities who don't care about the food and just open. That's the first phase. The second phase is going to be, we're repulsed by this model. This kind of sucks. The food doesn't taste good. They look terrible. There's no quality assurance, right? So there's going to be us being disgusted by this model. But then we're going to see the chefs, the people who cannot afford to open a restaurant for $800,000, the minorities, the immigrants, the people who make amazing street food in Singapore saying, hey, I'm going to start a delicious food concept that was meant to travel. We're going to come up with incredible packaging. We're going to do that very, very well because I can't afford anything else. But I'm an entrepreneur and I want to make it happen. And I'm going to open a lot of these and successfully and with quality and thoughtfully. And then I might open a brick and mortar or two, right? So we're still far away. I believe we're still 3 years away. We're already getting close to like the industry people are already repulsed, but the regular market still doesn't know what's happening. So we're going to see the tide shift, but I'm just excited for a whole new generation of chefs showing up.
Mm-hmm. And tell me about how you've helped your clients and what you are proud of what you've done over the past year.
One of the things I look at a lot, because listen, my job is I'm having a lot of fun. Like I've never had, I'm a son of an immigrant, son of a cab driver, son of a Dunkin' worker. I'm having the most fun I've ever had, but there's days I'm very discouraged. I'm exhausted. I hate it. There's so much competition. Everyone's trying to kill you and it's tough. So on those days, I go on this site, on our website, and I look at this one page we have, and the page is our savings calculator, right? So I look at the saving calculator to see what is it today or what is it tomorrow, and that's what I'm the most proud of, is what are we saving for these restaurants, right? Restaurateurs care more about what am I some restaurants care about what am I making, some care about what I'm saving, and this matters to me because I want to move sales from third party to first party as much as possible, because that is more money in the restaurateur's pocket, and they usually open more location, hire more people, give back more to the community. I don't know a single independent restaurant that is not doing soccer donations for their community, right? Not just from my Bear Burger experience, but in general. So that's what I'm the most proud of. And the number I gave you of 20 million is outdated. It's 28 today.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
the ticker keeps going.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And how do you convince people, let's say a small mom and pop operator, that they can afford to have a tech stack and not just kind of outsource it all to, third party?
You know how I do that? I try to tell them, I try to tell them, look at tech. Like, look at tech, look at everything tech is doing, tech companies are doing. Not food tech, just tech companies. Tech companies pay their people well. Tech companies give their people better healthcare. Tech people have more career ladders that are visible for their employees to see, right? Jessica will attest to it. We're training all our teams on performance review, and we're making sure every single person in the company gets a performance review, because everyone wants it. The people who are working hard wants a review because they want more money. The people who are not working hard wants guidance. Everyone wants it. Tech, and I never got to enjoy any of this when I was in food tech, in food. You know why? I couldn't enjoy it because our margins are so thin. On Maslow's pyramid, we cannot go up the ladder. We're still fighting for our lives and survival in the bottom. So what I urge restaurateurs to do is look at tech companies. They are actually leaner in how they operate than we are. They're leaner, they're 0 to 1. There's fundamentals on how you can remain lean and bootstrap. That is very core and very similar to how restaurateurs operate. But now, stop fighting technology, stop fighting data, and stop fighting them because you don't understand them. Guess what? I don't understand them as well. I have no fucking idea. But what I do understand is that I need to hire someone on the team who is still going to look at them because I'm nervous by it. So that's what I tell my fellow restaurateurs, because I know all of them and they still trust me. I've not become a tech guy yet to them. So that's what I'm telling them as I'm trying to convince them to prepare for a very bootstrap food tech world. If you're not, the word tech needs to exist even if you're a brick and mortar, because that's the world we live in and we shouldn't fight it at all. We need to just embrace it.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the milestones or accomplishments that you can tell me about that Lunchbox has gone through in the past year or so?
Oh, I just presented that right now. I have a couple. I have one here. We total orders processed 2.7 million. And we processed over 74.2 million in GMV. That's one I'm very proud of. Another one I'm proud of is 141 clients, 235 employees. Earlier this year, it was 51 employees, went to 235. We're proud of best company culture and best company for diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So those are two I'm proud of as well.
And what would you say is kind of your goals for next year? Where do you still think that you guys need to go?
We need to go international, and we need to go up market. There's a lot of friends in one-offs that are helping and supporting, and we love that. We want to go international. We want to go up market. We think that matters. We also acquired Spread, which is another food tech marketplace that we're very proud of. We're excited to go out and unleash that in the market, to go out and help and do good and teach other marketplaces how they can be better and contribute more to restaurant success at a fraction of the cost. So those are some things we're very proud of in terms of strategies we want to see through next year. So yeah, and I really would like to sign like a Chick-fil-A, like someone big nationally. That's a personal goal. Don't tell Chick-fil-A I said that.
Okay, great. I think then that's all the questions I have. Thank you so much for getting us caught up. I always love your enthusiasm and passion for the industry. So it's always great talking to you.